Hello, what's good, y'all? Happy Tuesday. Coming back with another one. Pin this real quick. Okay, y'all, I wanted to do a continuation of what I started last week, which was giving you guys a series on the credit dispute process. The past two videos that I did, the first one was about updating your personal information. Definitely want to watch that video. Check on my profile and you should see that. And the second video was about freezing secondary bureaus. Now, today I want to cover the actual dispute itself, which is sending out letters. There are multiple ways to dispute. There's the online method. There's also sending out letters. But for the sake of what is most effective versus what's the most convenient, sending letters is the best. You want to put things in writing. Right, and if you guys don't already know who I am, my name is Phil Agati. I'm a credit repair specialist. I helped a lot of people fix their credit, going from the 500s all the way up to the 700s. Fixed my own credit, fixed my wife's credit, as well as, help people set up their LLC, structure it the proper way so they could get access to business funding. All right, without further ado, let's talk about the actual dispute itself. So you want to send out a series of letters, and I want to focus on three specific letters you want to send. The first one is going to be just a general letter about just noticing some errors on your credit report. So you want to go on, there are many platforms that allow you to actually review your credit report and see accurate information as opposed to things like Credit Karma or whatnot. You want to go to Identity IQ, which I have a link for. Review each account on your credit report and pay attention to each category, like the breakdown on, the open dates or the dates of last payment and the, account numbers, different categories detailing, specific information on your credit report about the nature of each account. And you want to compare across the board what's reporting. So if you notice the account number on, say, a Bank of America account, you have a credit card, is different on one bureau as opposed to the next. Like you look at the TransUnion, it's saying 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you look at Experian, it's saying 1, 3, 4, 6. That right there is an error. And what you want to do is simply, you could write it with a pen and paper, or you can type it up. Pretty much just look up TransUnion mailing address and then write to them like, hey, I was reviewing my credit report and noticed the date on my Bank of America is inaccurate. It's saying it was open on this date, but when I compare it to another report, it's saying account number, it's saying it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but on a different bureau, it's saying it's 1, 4, 5, 6. Just please make sure this is accurate, and if it's not, say if this is a collection, you want that to be removed. Okay, so you want to send that first round of letter, which is pretty much just alerting the credit bureaus that, hey, you noticed a few errors on your credit report, not sure if they see it on their end as well, and you want them to investigate the situation, and if there is indeed an error, please remove the account completely. Now, what's most likely going to happen after you send that initial letter is you're going to get a response back from them within maybe, they technically by law have 30 days to do an investigation on the dispute itself and to find out if there are any errors and respond to you within that window. So it doesn't have to be exactly 30 days, but they have up to 30 days to respond. So you're going to get a response from them. And from my experience, usually they always say the account has been verified and, they've concluded the investigation and no changes were made. So pretty much you were asking for a deletion and they're telling you like, hey, we got your letter. We did an investigation on the account that you specified, but didn't see any mistakes. So, we're not going to delete it. We're not going to remove it. The account remains. The collection you have stays there. Now, the follow-up letter you want to send is the validation. So I talked about how you're going to be three letters. The second one is going to be like you want them to validate, like, how they did the investigation. So you're telling me that on my end, I'm seeing different account numbers, different dates, and you're saying it's accurate. Could you please explain to me what steps you took to ensure the accuracy of this information? So, did they call someone, and who did they call, or who did they speak to? Could they give you a number so you could call that department and, clarify what's going on? And if they also have some form of documentation of, like, the account or the contract for that account, and like how did they ensure that the information is accurately reporting? Like, you can't just do an investigation and not have any evidence and just come back and say, like, hey, we concluded everything looks good, that's all, peace out. No, they have to provide you some form of documentation, information explaining the procedures that were followed to ensure the account was accurate. Now, usually, from my experience, they're not able to provide that information. So that's usually when good things start to happen. Say you had like 3 collections and you're disputing them, but you're asking for validation, and they respond back by saying, we've deleted one of the accounts. The other 2 were accurately verified, so they're going to remain there. That's when you have, like, momentum, you have leverage, because it's like, okay, if you're deleting one account because you're saying beforehand it was accurate, but now you're deleting it saying, okay, you resolved the issue, but you're still leaving the other 2, how come you haven't responded with the evidence that you used to ensure it's accurate? So then you want to write another letter. This is the 3rd letter. In the 3rd letter, you kind of want to do some research on your own. There are a few laws that you want to pay attention to. 15 USC 1681. And that's ultimately saying, like, you as a consumer are the one who determines whether or not you're giving the credit reporting agencies, Experian, Equifax, TransUnion, the authority to report on your behalf. Okay? All this reporting that they do is voluntary. These agencies are not part of the government, right? There's only one actual consumer bureau, which is the CFPB. Experian, Equifax, TransUnion, these are all private companies, just like Microsoft, Apple, Google. Like, these companies are in the nature of creating profits for their shareholders, or the owners. Okay, so you're pretty much going to do some research. There are plenty of videos out there about consumer law and certain laws that you want to address when you're writing a letter, requesting the deletion of certain information from your credit report, because as a consumer you have the right to privacy, right? If these people are reporting inaccurate information on you, that's vile, and it's harming you financially. You're not able to get an auto loan, you're not able to get a business loan or a personal loan. These are all things that are affecting you personally. So, like, in essence, they're damaging your character. You're going to the bank and you're applying for a loan, and they're telling you, like, hey, we saw this information on your credit report. It says that, you have a collection here. Even though the collection might be, something that was generated because of your failure to actually pay your debts on time and it went into default, the fact that that information is reporting inaccurately in terms of the details, like the account number, the open date, the date of last payment, all those things have to be accurate. And if they're not reporting accurately, by law, federal law, you can request for that information to be removed if they cannot verify it, if they cannot correct it. There are only 2 choices. They either correct the nature of the information on your reports, or they delete it. Because why keep reporting something if you can't accurately report it? Okay, so just to reiterate, there are 3 letters that you want to send. The idea is the first letter is pretty much just calling to attention, like, hey, you did a review of your credit reports, you got your free credit reports, and you have copies of them, and you notice so many errors when comparing one account on one report to the next, and there are just too many inconsistencies, and you want that information to be either updated or deleted, right? They're going to respond back to you, and they're going to tell you the information has been verified, but you want to send them a second letter asking what were the procedures to verify the information. Now, from my experience, I've never gotten a letter back where they're like, hey, we spoke to John Doe, and John Doe's number is, 555-555, and, you can call them, and, they will give you the exact, contract and everything, explaining how this is correctly reporting, and, it's been verified. They don't do that. What they do is they take incremental steps to kind of like appease you. So if you're disputing like 5 negative accounts, they're gonna delete one and hope that you eventually give up, and you're like, okay, well, they deleted one and the rest of them is just gonna be there. No, what you want to do is be persistent. You want to send another letter asking or letting them know, like, you understand your rights as a consumer, and under Fair Credit Reporting Act, it's protected, so they need to provide you that information, and because they haven't done so in the allotted time, the 30 days, they have to remove it. Now, the third letter is not the automatic, like, once you send that, everything gets removed completely, and then, it's ball game. No, there's going to be a lot of back and forth. A lot of times, they're going to respond with, the information has been verified, and, it becomes very, defeating, because you feel like, well, if they keep saying verified, then there's nothing I can do. Well, that's why you got to wait for the next series of videos that I'm going to post about, how to file an FTC report, as well as how to file a CFPB report. But one thing I just want to leave you guys with before I conclude this video is, even when you send out these letters, it's very important to, put things in writing. But I'm a big advocate for following up with a call, right? You send these letters, you wait, maybe 5 business days, you give them a call, and you want to make sure that they received it, and pretty much like reiterate what's on the letter, right? It's telling them like, hey, you're looking at the report right now, and you see what's going on, and just wanted to make sure they're seeing the same thing too. So it's almost like you're investigating them, right? You're like, okay, the account date says this, right? Is that what you're noticing? And if they're like, yeah, I see that as well, and it's like, okay, but this account can't be opened on this date on one report, and on another report open on this date. So like, I'm essentially doing the investigation for you. I'm expediting this process. So like, go ahead and remove it. And I've personally experienced, sending out plenty of letters and being at a standstill. But once I started calling, I got the results a lot faster. So it's either you wait 30 days to complete an investigation, or, you spend the next, 15 minutes or 30 minutes on a phone call with a representative from, Experian, and just explain to them, like, the information is inaccurate, and you want them to go ahead and remove it because it's just, federal law. That's just how it works. Now, for the most part, they're going to give you a hard time. They're going to tell you, nah, we can't do that. We got to wait for the investigation to conclude before we make any decisions. That's fine, okay? Don't kill yourself. Don't give yourself high blood pressure. All you got to do is just, maybe ask to speak to a supervisor. Maybe somebody different will understand and be willing to help you. Otherwise, hang up, all right? Give them a call back at another time, or, on another day. Just be persistent, keep trying. Ultimately, you're going to get the results you want, because the energy that you put towards something, that's what you're going to get, all right? So that pretty much concludes the video. I hope you guys found this very informative. If you enjoyed it, comment credit. If you're someone with bad credit and you're looking to fix your credit, and you don't want to do this whole back and forth with them, I'm your guy. I'm a credit repair specialist. I could take care of this for you. You can set up when you come in credit, you're gonna get my calendar. You can set up your call. I'm gonna call you, and then we're gonna get you right. We're gonna fix your credit and get you to the 700 club. That way you can get whatever you want, whether that's a new car, business funding, all that jazz. All right. Peace out. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Hope you have a great Tuesday, and I'll see y'all later. Peace.